Here's the last secret: formatting. Do you remember that heat map that we talked about earlier? If you look at where the recruiter's eyes were drawn, it was the sections that were formatted in a compelling way. And this may sound commonsensical, but the reader's eyes are first drawn to the top third of the page. So make sure that you've got your most compelling information on top to entice them to read further down. I know it's tempting to detail all of your work experience and to make the font super tiny so that you can squeeze in all the information. And I'm imploring you, resist that temptation. It sounds counterintuitive, but the more information you include, the less people will read. So include lots of white space and position your information so that it's easy on the eyes. Also, ATSs generally have a hard time with lots of tables, so resist the urge to use templates with invisible tables in them. To draw that reader's eyes to the right places, be strategic with things like bolding, underlining, italics, colors, and reverse shading. And I encourage you to keep it simple with fonts and use the ones that are known to easily work with both PCs and Macs. Personally, I'm a fan of sans serif fonts, the ones like Arial or Helvetica, without the little curlicues on each letter, because they're easier on the eyes. The generally accepted font sizes are 10 to 12 points, definitely no smaller than 10 points. Have at least a half a point between your bullets to make it easier for skimmers and those who read online. And if you're really tight on space, one trick is to widen your margins to no more than ½ inch all the way around. However, I caution you with this approach. White space makes it easier for readers to find your key information and not be overwhelmed with details. Earlier, we talked about your resume being a marketing document. Well, I don't know about you, but most of the marketing that comes at me is pretty colorful. I'm not saying go mad with color, but adding a splash of color or some colorful accents can help you stand out from the crowd. For more information about what colors mean in business, check out the page in your workbook called The Psychology of Color. It's in my real-world resume transformation guide. Here are my bonus tips for this section. Keep it simple. There's no need to convolute your resume with fancy corporate buzzwords that don't mean a lot. Describe your accomplishments using kitchen English. You know how when you have people over to your house and everyone ends up gathering in the kitchen and chatting casually? Explain things like you would to your grandparents or young children. Simple terms can be easily understood by everyone who reads your resume.